Hey, this is Mr. Brown, and I'm going to show you how to use Google Drive. This is my Google Drive, and this is simple. This is really simple, and I'm going to talk a lot about how do I edit and make things useful, and organize it, and that sort of thing. But this is the homepage, and the biggest thing everything I've got for work is really lumped into one big folder. And the reason I did that is so that I can share the entire folder with my personal account. That way it's backed up. And if I ever need it, and access it from home or a different account or something like that, I can do that. So that's one thing I highly recommend. It was also useful as I worked one semester at a different school. And so what happened, since I'd backed it up, I still had access to all my stuff through my personal account. And then I did the same thing. I made a separate folder for that school, and now I'm back at the original school I was at. And I've still got everything from both because I backed those up with my personal account. So highly recommend everybody backing theirs up with a personal account in addition to your school or work account. But once I'm in my folder, this will see a little bit better organization. And I will talk about how to share folders and stuff like that. But I've got all sorts of things, everything that I have, all of these different folders. I'm going to show you the one I'm using currently, which is why I have it at number 1 in front of it, because it's alphabetical order. But if you put number 1, it's going to be the first thing that comes up. So this is my world history folder. And I've got this even organized down into different things. So I'm going to look at like my lessons and materials. This is what I'm using most. And I've got them numbered and in order by unit so that I can see, hey, this is what I have. So if you're a student, you would want to say, hey, let's put each of my classes, and then I may even have them organized within each of my classes by unit or something like that. You do have to develop a system that works for you. That's very important. But really making sure that you have it at the very least organized by class. That way you can find it, and make sure stuff's titled. If it's all untitled document, it's going to be very difficult to find and navigate, because one of the great things in Google Drive is you got this search bar up here. You can search for stuff just based off of keywords of what you're looking for. It's very user friendly, but it's tough if you don't title them. So at a bare minimum, you need to title all your documents with useful titles, and literally the name of the assignment is probably a good title for you to use. Okay. But even then within my unit, sometimes I may have subfolders within that. So like if I go to my ancient civilizations unit, right, and I get there, if it'll ever load, and I've got organized, I've got stuff here, but I even have, hey, here's unit grades for different things. I've got my S20 folder, which is the stuff that was just for this spring. I think that's basically this spring's version of the lesson plan. But then all of my resources are here. And as you can see, everything is named and everything is very useful in the way that I have it set up. So it's very, very important that you do this. A couple of things that are really simple with how to use Drive as well is how do I go and make a shared folder or just create a folder in general. So if I want to make something new, I can just simply click new, and I can go folder, and that's what I'm going to show you first. But I can always go file upload, folder upload, and this will allow something that you have downloaded on your desktop, and you can upload it. So even if it's not like a Google Doc, like a Word doc or a PDF or anything like that, you can upload it and save it in Drive, even if it's not a Google product. So that's really important. You can also go ahead and access how to create Google Docs, Sheets, and they have all kinds of other things like drawings, sites, and forms, and even maps that you can edit yourself right off of a real Google map, which is a really cool tool that you can use, especially in something like social studies, where you have that geography aspect coming into play. But what I'm going to show you right now for organization's sake is how to make a folder. So if I'm going to make a folder, obviously I would title it. I'm just going to do sample for now because that's what we're doing. And then click create. And then you notice it'll load, hey, there's my sample folder. Well, if I want to move it, I can right click and I can then click move to. And if I want to embed this within another folder, this little window, and I had to scroll down, so I'm going to redo that. But it'll give me the options of picking another folder and moving into it. And so like what folder is one where I have a lot of other subfolders in there. And so like I can go and I can click and I can embed it into a subfolder if I wanted to do that. Additionally, if I want to make this a shared folder, So like if I was backing up on my personal account or whatever it may be, I right click, I click share, and then I go and I can choose. I can just let somebody view it, or I can let them organize and add and edit within the folder. So you can do the same thing for individual documents, but you can also do it for an entire folder, and then somebody can access anything in that folder. All right. So what I'm going to show you next is an example of a shared folder that I have. So if I go back to this WAP folder, and if I look at like this History Day PBL, this is something that as a department at my school, myself and the other social studies teacher have been working on, so we can both access anything on here and you can see all the documents that we have. But even we have subfolders, so we're doing this in American history too and in world history. So we have subfolders for that with different resources that are class specific, things that are good for everybody here. And then our agendas from each meeting we have are listed here. I hope this video was very helpful on how to use Google Classrooms. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.